Hey there guys, Tom here, welcome back to my movie channel and thank you very much for joining me for this, my review of the brand new Pixar movie, Toy Story 4. But before we get into today's review, if you guys have not subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so that you never miss out on my take on all things movies. So Toy Story 4 is the fourth film in the Toy Story franchise. This film takes place after Toy Story 3. The toys are now with Bonnie, their new kid. It's her first day of kindergarten. Woody is very protective of Bonnie, goes with her. She makes a new toy called Forky, as you've probably seen in the trailers. And this toy is confused about what he is, what his purpose is, how he came to be. And Woody's mission throughout this movie is to protect Forky because Bonnie loves Forky and Woody's going to do whatever it takes to make Bonnie happy. Have you guys seen Toy Story 4? What are your thoughts? Whatever your thoughts are on this film, make sure you jump down into the comments section below and let me know what you thought of the film. So Toy Story 4 is a film that when it got announced, a lot of people were not really that optimistic about it because I feel like a lot of people thought the same way they did about Toy Story 2 when that got announced, which was Toy Story 1 was perfect. Why would you do a number 2? And then Toy Story 2 came out and was absolutely amazing. And then they announced Toy Story 3 and people were like, why would you do Toy Story 3? Toy Story 2 was absolutely amazing. And then the same complaint happened with Toy Story 4 and Toy Story 3 ended up being absolutely incredible. Some would argue the best of the franchise. And now we have a Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 is a film that I quite enjoyed. This film is funny. There are a lot of new characters that come into this movie, which I will get into, but let's talk about the main character of this movie, and that is Woody and Forky, and I love Forky in this film. This was a character that from the trailers and even throughout the beginning of the film, I thought this character is going to get really, really annoying, but Forky's absolutely hilarious, and he plays a pivotal role in this movie, and he really is the MacGuffin of the film, and he is what drives this story forward. And he is essential to Woody's arc in this film because Disney and the director of Toy Story 4 have all stated publicly that Toy Story 4 is the conclusion to Woody's arc throughout this Toy Story series, and Forky plays an absolutely essential role in where Woody goes in Toy Story 4. So let's talk about some of these new characters and some returning characters. Let's start with Bo Peep. Bo Peep obviously was not in Toy Story 3, and in Toy Story 4, they do offer an explanation as to why she was not in Toy Story 3. That happens right at the beginning of this film. And that was a really satisfying explanation because you really kind of just felt her absence in Toy Story 3. And they gave a really good reason as to why she wasn't in that film. And her role in Toy Story 4 is absolutely incredible. She is one of the best parts of this film. I love the Bo Peep character. They added so many layers to that character because she was really kind of underutilized in 1 and 2. And I'll never get sick of seeing her and Woody on screen together and their little toy romance. Now, there is some new characters in the film that you've seen in the trailers. You have the two characters played by Key and Peele. You have Fluffy and Ducky. They're hilarious. You have Duke Kaboom, voiced by the immortal Keanu Reeves, and his role in this film is absolutely hilarious. This character is so funny, and he plays an important role in the film, as does the other new character in the film, Gabby. Gabby, she's not just this antagonistic character that I thought she was going to be. She's not just as surface level as I thought. She, like the prospector in Toy Story 2 or like Lotso the bear in Toy Story 3, has real motivation and real character behind her and real reason for doing what she's doing and not just being this evil bad guy that the toys have to face. I love this Gabby character. I think she is a great addition to this film, and she does also bring a lot of heart to this movie, surprisingly. Now, Toy Story 4 is the conclusion of Woody's arc. I'm not going to spoil anything about that. But what I will say is that is also kind of a negative for me because this story is the conclusion to Woody's arc throughout this Toy Story series. But because the movie so much focuses on Woody and Forky in particular, the other characters, including Buzz, Jesse, Rex, Ham, Slinky, the rest of the group are kind of sidelined throughout the movie. They are in the movie quite a bit and do have important roles to play, but this movie isn't as much of an ensemble. It's not as much about the gang as it is in Toy Story 2 and 3 in particular. And that's kind of a negative for me because the Toy Story movies I think work the best when you have the whole gang together and it is an ensemble movie, but they went in a bit of a different direction for Toy Story 4. And I'm okay with that, but I would have liked to have seen the gang together more throughout the film. And I think when you get to the end, which does get emotional, it would have packed a bit more weight to see the group together throughout the film by the time you get to the third act. And the third act, as you've probably seen people say from early reactions, is the most emotional part of this movie. In Toy Story 4, people have been saying that it is the most emotional of the four Toy Story movies. I don't necessarily agree with that, and here's why. I feel like Toy Story 4 was kind of unnecessary. Toy Story 4 feels kind of tacked on to the other three, and while it is a very fun, entertaining Toy Story movie, and it is a very good film, so it's absolutely a win and a thumbs up for me. But leading up to the release of Toy Story 4, all Disney and the director and the producers and all the cast have been saying is we weren't going to do a Toy Story 4 unless we felt like we had a real story to tell and a real natural progression from what happened in the other three. And to me, that Toy Story 4 really doesn't justify its existence in that sense. I feel like you could have just left it at Toy Story 3 and been perfectly fine. And I am happy with how Toy Story 4 turned out, but I do feel like it was a little bit unnecessary in that sense. I didn't feel that emotional weight that I think everyone else has been feeling, and that's just coming from me personally. Now, again, I have only seen it once, so maybe when I go back and see it again and give the movie time to settle, I'll feel differently. But as of right now, I feel like the movie didn't have the same meat to it overall, not just in the third act, the same emotional weight overall that 1, 2, and 3 all had and all were very consistent with. This feels the most inconsistent with those types of things than the other three do. Now, that being said, I do like where all these characters ended up, and I do like the way they closed this out. I just disagree with a lot of other fellow film critics and fans and pundits out there that this movie, to me, didn't pack that same emotional weight. But again, Toy Story 4 is funny, it's charming, it's got all these characters that we know and love. It has new characters, Gabby Gabby, Duke Kaboom, Bo Peep, the Key and Peele characters, they're all hilarious. And new dimensions to some of the characters that we already know. Buzz Lightyear, there are some new dimensions to that character as well as finding his inner voice. So overall, guys, look, I really enjoyed Toy Story 4. I thought Toy Story 4 was a very well-made movie. It's a thumbs up from me. I really, really like this film. It is my least favorite of the Toy Story movies. I mean, Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 set a very, very high bar, but it is my least favorite. However, I do not consider Toy Story 4 a bad film. So Toy Story 4 overall, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below. Let's carry on the discussion about Toy Story 4 and let me know what you guys think of it. Definitely, I'm very interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell so that you never miss out on my take on all things movies. My name is Tom. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.